Morning, everybody. It's a Tuesday morning. Really a very well done show. Thank you very much to a bunch of real smart callers and texters. It's December the 30th. Tomorrow will be our New Year's Eve show, 2025. I'm Peter Boyles in for the fellas. They will be back next Monday. Tuesday morning weather, 54 the high, 61 on Wednesday, and 62 degrees on Thursday. Let me go to the Bat Cave, ladies and gentlemen. This is Hat Day. We're the Hat Squad, and this started out with,
you win.
Well, this is my all-time hat. Yeah, I mean, yours is a utilitarian, everyday working man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Think if I showed up on the job wearing this. You know,
I don't know. You may go far, Peter.
You practice hard, you're going to go far.
That's right.
Let me ask you something. You know, growing up, did you have a 22 or a BB gun?
Oh yeah, we had BB guns and 22s and a 30-06 that we weren't supposed to pick up.
Yeah. All right.
but yeah, I did one time, and my dad was not happy about that. But yeah, absolutely.
How old were you when you got a 22 or a BB gun?
Well, I mean that I could, shoot it.
Yeah.
Probably 10, 11, something like that.
Do you think that?
But I picked it up when I was 4, I think.
No. Do you think that's going on today?
I think in parts of America, in rural towns, in parts of Wyoming, Montana, eastern Colorado, the western slope of Colorado, I think there are still places, absolutely, but it's looked down upon.
Tom Martino tells me a story that I clearly believe. He was on the rifle team of his school in New York, and he rode the school bus with a 22 rifle.
That's great.
No, seriously.
That's awesome.
You think you try that one?
I would say the half of our parking lot in high school, maybe a fourth, had gun racks in the back of their trucks. Absolutely.
So they were. By the way, where did you grow up? So people.
Grew up in Longmont. Went to Lyons High School. So, a lot of people who lived on farms, ranches.
Oh, sure.
Worked. Blue collar, I didn't go to school with a lot of attorneys' kids.
But a gun was a tool, TOOL.
Yes, absolutely, no doubt. It was like a fork.
Oh yeah,
if you wanted to eat.
Yeah. We had,
not when I was raised, but you know what I'm saying.
No, I had a 22 that I wanted, and my dad didn't pay for it. I earned the money to get it, but it was a used 22. It was a bolt action single shot. My brother still has it.
Yeah. I know exactly what
it had. It had the stinger on it.
Yep.
Kids in the neighborhood.
How old were you when you had that?
13, 12, 13. Same, like a little bit older, probably. Yeah. About the same age as my grandson. And he loves to fish, so.
He does?
But not.
Oh, that's great.
Guns haven't. But I had BB guns. We had BB guns.
Oh, I think everyone.
No,
everyone in the neighborhood had BB guns when I grew up, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I had the ones the cheapest one where I'm doing this on the screen, you grabbed the barrel and you grabbed the stock and you cocked it in half.
Yes. That was absolutely.
I think they were the low-end BB guns.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You're like you're in a Western.
Yeah.
You're at the OK Corral or wherever.
Absolutely. But it wasn't.
Those things were cool.
It wasn't the Daisy lever action or pump gun or that kind of stuff.
Right. Exactly.
And I had a 22.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. We small game hunted.
Yeah.
So I got a shotgun after that. Did you get?
I never got a shotgun. No. I wasn't as into guns as a lot of kids were, or boys for the most part. But I got it. I was like, yeah, it's pretty cool. Do
you think that the state of Colorado today would approve of you having?
Oh, Of course not.
Yeah, see, that's
Absolutely
and that's why
not.
coming up. It's the day after tomorrow. The new gun laws go into effect in the state of Colorado.
Yeah,
And
it's
here's the
horrible.
one when I was talking. Why I asked you about being a kid. This is gun show requirement. This will be as of January 1. Gun show promoters will be required to have liability insurance, and submit a security plan to local law enforcement, and ensuring individuals under 18 are not there by themselves. They have to be accompanied by a guardian.
Wow.
We went into gun stores. There was one on Allegheny River Boulevard, and that's where I bought my first .22, and they sold it to me. I think I was 13.
That's awesome.
You put up the money, and the guy sold you the gun.
Heck yeah.
And then they sold. You could buy. They were called shorts. Remember, because they were cheaper than longs, and people don't know little .22s.
Yeah.
And we would go off and decimate populations of. I mean, if it flies.
Those gun stores smelled good. I don't know about the ones
Oh.
that you went into.
Yeah.
I used to like going into those.
Oh, and see,
It may have been because all the guys had how you used to smell pipes a lot, like
Oh,
your
yeah.
grandparent, and the wood and everything that went along with it. I
Gun
was
stores,
like, man,
they were great. It was.
yeah.
And we would go. We would walk in, and the guy would talk to us. He was like a pretty cool guy, and we'd be 3 or 4 kids, and we were gun geeks, but we knew a lot.
Yeah.
And we stand and talk to him, and he'd take a gun out and show it to us, let us, like lever actions and, yeah. I mean, he had this. I remember this distinctly. You remember a rifle called a Weatherby?
Heard of that.
They were like the top end.
Yeah.
He actually had a Weatherby. And,
cool.
Yeah, it was like going down to seeing the new '57 Chevy convertible, and they remember the new
Right.
cars came out.
Oh yeah.
He went down, but I don't know. I mean, it was like. So now,
Where was the first? I digress a little here, though. Where was the first manufacturing of the rifle? Was it in Massachusetts?
I would imagine, but the Kentucky rifles, and they were handmade, and
Oh man,
the
that's so cool.
Afghans make rifles today. They make AKs. They say you can't tell much of a difference, but they make them. I don't know. That's a great question. Somebody will answer. There's some smart guys out there, and but
I mean, it's pretty. It is amazing. I mean, just the technology at that time when they made it is just fascinating.
and and remember this as we take the turn. The Concord Bridge, the shot fired round the world, was a gun grab. They would have not called them the British, but they would have called them lobster backs. They came to take the powder, and without powder, you had no weapons.
That's right.
What started the American Civil War, the trigger was a gun grab.
Man,
People don't think about that, but it's true.
oh, that's true.
Those Minutemen were not going to give up their weapons.
Boy, that's the truth. Oh wow.
So what was the make and model of your .22? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. It was my older brother's, so I do not remember. But it was heavy. I mean, for me at that time, it was the real deal.
Yeah, I bet.
No doubt.
I had a J.C. Higgins.
Oh,
and I was not the original owner but I stripped the stock. I took it apart.
you did?
Yeah, really. I mean, I have
awesome.
no skills. But
You cleaned it every week.
I cleaned it all. My brother still has it. So,
That's awesome.
Yeah. Anyhow, here we got.
I love it. Now here comes the government.
Here it
tomorrow.
comes.
Or Monday, you said.
It kicks in. Yes.
Yeah, great.
It's
Way
all,
to be, Colorado. It's beautiful.
all yours.
All right.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Good Tuesday morning. 23 and sunny in Denver, expecting a high of 49 today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story, a transcript related to the closed-door hearing in the Charlie Kirk assassination case, is being made public. Judge Tony Graff said that the transcript and audio from the hearing will be released in about 2 weeks after redactions are completed. Millions of Americans agree with Candace Owens. Robinson didn't act alone, and the gunshot may not have killed Charlie. She went on late last night on X for the first time in over a week to summarize where she is in her investigation. Numerous podcasters were on with her.
Is that Turning Point USA is just telling a lot of lies, and you don't tell a lot of lies. The whole world got behind Turning Point USA when Charlie got shot. There wasn't a single person who was not rooting for Turning Point USA on September 11th. Okay. And now we're at a place where it actually feels like the whole world is rooting against Turning Point USA, right? Well, the TikTokers are not liking Erica. The people online are not liking Erica. They feel like, I'm sorry, but are we going to pretend that whole AmFest thing wasn't just weird? We're popping up tents of where somebody died. I don't know. That's weird. And so, yeah, let's respect the public that we're recognizing something's off and we want to know what it is that is off. And Andrew Colvett is definitely off. Okay. He is off the chains. There have been just way too many lies, and there would be no reason to lie when you have the whole world on your side rooting for you.
In the public perception department, TPUSA is losing right now. Owens doesn't believe Robinson acted alone. And once again, a lot of Americans agree with her. Ukrainian President Zelensky says he does not trust Vladimir Putin as peace talks continue. In an interview with Fox News, Zelensky says Putin does not want success for Ukraine and that he believes he simply does not want more pressure from DJT. For the love of God, he does what the EU and NATO tells him to do. They continue to push war, and Zelensky listens. Remember Mark Rutte? Here, let's listen to Mark Rutte on this subject.
Of this first quarter of the 21st century, conflicts are no longer fought at arm's length. Conflict is at our door. Russia has brought war back to Europe, and we must be prepared for the scale of war our grandparents and great-grandparents endured.
They don't want to war. They just want to keep it going. Keep the war going with Ukraine and Russia. That's Rutte and NATO. DJT delivering warnings to both Hamas and Iran. Speaking alongside Netanyahu, 47 said there will be hell to pay if Hamas doesn't stick to its promise to disarm part of the Israeli-Hamas peace plan. The president also vowed that the U.S. would go after Iran if that country tries to build up a missile stockpile and reestablish its nuclear program. He said that Israel has done 100% of what they were supposed to do in the peace plan. Stay tuned. Police are giving more details about a deadly weekend crash in Aurora. They say a woman was driving a Jeep Cherokee north on Gun Club Road near East Jewel Avenue on Sunday afternoon. She allegedly was attempting to pass other vehicles in the southbound lanes when she rear-ended a Lexus and then collided with an oncoming Tesla. The driver of the Jeep was killed, while the driver of the Tesla and two passengers in the Jeep were seriously injured. Speed and alcohol are being investigated as factors in the crash. Heading into the new year, gas prices remain under $3 a gallon on average. AAA says the current national average per gallon is $2.83. Cheapest gas, though, in Denver, Gas Buddy says $1.65 at a Shell on Evans. Broncos continue preparation for the Chargers tomorrow. Sunday, San Diego is in town. Broncos could earn the number 1 seed in the AFC with a victory. LA Kings and the Avalanche last night. Colorado wins it 5-2. They're 29-2-7. The Nuggets in Miami last night. Nikola Jokic had 21, but the Nuggets defeated by the Heat 147-123, the final. 19 in Castle Rock, 21 in Lakewood, 23 in Denver. You're waking up with Jeff and Bill. Pete the Great is in for the fellas. Blake Olson, News Talk 710, KNUS.
Your 710 5-day forecast, mostly sunny skies for this Tuesday. Temperatures will be lower and mid-50s. Lows tonight going to fall to the upper 20s, low 30s as skies are clear. Then New Year's Eve and New Year's Day should see lower 60s. Sunshine tomorrow, little more cloud cover for Thursday. Small chance for a passing rain shower towards Thursday evening, otherwise keeping it dry through the end of the week. Lows middle and upper 30s. Meteorologist Don Watzel in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
Peter Boyle's in for the guys. It's a Tuesday morning, 30th of December, 2025. Tomorrow's our New Year's Eve show. 710 KNUS. We are Denver's talk station, and lines are open, wide open. We had folks on the phones hit the news break, and people drop off. 303-696-1971. If you're trying to call in the last hour and got a busy, or you were on the line as we hit the wall, come back with me. 303-696-1971. Started out talking about the role of the government, and coming up I think in the next hour, Ian Escalante will be with us, and he is with Rocky Mountain Gun Owners. We're going to talk about what is about to happen in 2 days, where the state of Colorado's laws again tighten up on the Second Amendment. And the gun show requirement I thought was interesting. If you're not 18, you can't go. You know, it's interesting. You can go in the military at 17, but you can't go to a gun show in Colorado. And the gun show guys have to be required to submit a security plan now to the cops and ensure individuals under 18 are accompanied, and liability insurance and everything. And there's an assault weapon ban. They're all coming your way. So that dawned on me about first guns. Let me read, or the role of the government, which has really pushed the show this morning. Let me read a bunch. Pete, my first firearm, I was 13. My dad sold my Lionel train set and bought me a Belgian Browning 22. I still have it. Thanks to the rise of atheism and free thought, we try to make ourselves God while trying to kill the God that gave us the power. This one. Do you think there's a point where the free market goes too far? Is there a breaking point? Well, yeah, I mean, it's demonstrated itself many times, but that's the interesting thing about capitalism is elastic. And if you don't understand that part of it, then you can't take it to the next step. Capitalism expands and contracts. You can't know good times without knowing bad. It's the nature of the beast. It's what capitalism is. And so along comes Karl Marx and others who say, oh, we can plan an economy. They're called planned economies. You can see them in 5-year plans, 7-year plans, great leaps forward. What was the 1,000 butterflies opening or something? And they make plans. And you can't plan. And that's where Marx's idea, where there is from everybody or from you according to what you got, and to you according to what I got. And so we even it out, and it doesn't work. It's called a planned economy. And socialism asks for part of that. Marxism asks for all of it. And so we got capitalism. And in the Great American Depression, that was the rise of the Marxists, because it promises something. All right, let me see this. That's a great one. Peter from Isaiah, and he goes on, a long, long quote on Bible stuff. Thank you very much. Peter, My first experience with a 22, age of 4, when my dad took me out to shoot at tin cans, I can still smell the gunpowder. Wow. Happy New Year, Pete. Great to have you back. I'm 85, grew up in a small town in Illinois. Farm boys also had rifles in their trucks and brought them to school. Also BB guns. My father must have broken 4 of them. Trying to make the girls run by shooting at the back of our feet. I have a great-grandfather muzzle loader. Ooh, my great-great-grandfather's muzzle loader. Don't know how they even carried those. I have an over and under there. I ordered from Sears catalog, my husband's Christmas gift. That was just about before Kennedy was killed, and the government then stopped catalog sales of guns. No, the government, if you know the history, the government stopped mail-order weapons after Kennedy. It took a while to do so. We'll go long distance to Indiana. Hey, Phil, you're on a radio show. Good morning. Thanks.
Good morning, Pete.
Brother?
I am a FFL holder. I've been a gun dealer since the 1989.
Wow.
So I've been doing this for a while, and I specialize in collectible and antique firearms.
Let me stop. What is the most expensive one you have?
What is the most expensive gun I have right now? I have a German World War II sniper rifle with the scope, and it is currently priced at $4,500.
Okay, that's wow.
And that is up for sale on gunbroker.com if you want to look me up. I'm up there.
All right.
So one of the things I wanted to been wanting to talk about with you about firearms is these gun laws that they keep trying to write. But there's already 300 or so million guns already well filtered out into the society.
Yes.
And most of them are all of those, just those 22s and the shotguns and all the guns that you're talking about right now. They're not assault weapons. They're not handguns. They're just guns that millions and millions of Americans have. And you have the government trying to say that you can't sell your neighbor your old 22 single shot without going to a gun dealer and making them process a paperwork because they're so obsessed with background checks.
Or better yet, give it.
Right, or give it. The whole point is the states, at least, are trying to legislate individual transfers of firearms. And my question is always what's the basis of them making that charge? Is if you're a lawful gun owner and you're selling a lawful item that you're guaranteed the constitutional to have to another citizen, they don't have there's no basis for them to charge you.
But it's control.
It is absolutely control. And the reality is within the gun community, within people that I know, they will trade and own firearms freely, buy, sell, trade. That's what the motto is. Mm-hmm. And they don't have an FFL, and they're doing that daily. It happens millions of times, and nothing happens because they're not criminals.
Let me read you and this is interesting because we were talking with myself and Blake, we're talking about being, boys recently, in terms of first guns. And this is the part of what will happen in 2 days is called the gun show requirement. And the third leg of that gun show requirement from my reading and I'll read it to you, to ensure individuals under 18 are accompanied by a guardian. Now, there's no even explanation. I suspect it means you got to show an ID, to some guy at the door. To me, it's, again, I think you probably said it better than I could, but what's the purpose of this? To not let a 17-year-old kid into a gun show?
I don't see how that could be enforced, and who'd be standing there to say, "Oh, you just let that kid into the show, now you're in trouble." What would they be charging them with?
I hear there's another part of it. Submit a security plan to local law enforcement. You have to tell the cops about your security plan to have a gun show.
Yeah, that's my whole. Those people writing the law have no concept of what they're writing laws about.
Oh, they do. See, I disagree with you. They know exactly what they're doing. Exactly what they're doing.
But the thing is, most of the gun shows hire the off-duty police officers to work there, and they have what is the legislators don't know what they're saying when they say we'll have a security plan.
I look at things like this, and for instance, you watch public service get a rate increase. Follow me on this. So and hypothetical, they're asked for $1, they get 50 cents. 6 months later, they ask for $1, they get 50 cents. Now they got their $1. And I think watching these squeeze Second Amendment, and eventually they'll get what they want.
They will get it publicly, meaning there won't be a public place like a gun show or a gun store to go, but
they'll put them out.
People will still do what they do
and
outside the system.
And I agree with you, Phil, but one of my dearest friends, Alan Samuel, is moving to Wyoming. He's getting out. He's taking his gun. He's a gun guy. He's a gun dealer. We were talking about Sturgis. I had an experience in Sturgis where we stopped at this general store, riding in the club, and this guy got what I called a cowboy gun. It was a .45 revolver on his hip. And I thought, whoa. And I said, I see you have open carry. And he was an old guy like me. And he said to me, I have constitutional carry.
Yep, that's the new movement that they've started about 10 years ago. We just got that in Indiana. They just did away with our permits and everything.
It was very enlightening for that guy to say that to me. He had it strapped down. It was, like it was what Tom Mix carried. It was like,
right.
I thought it was cool as hell. I thought, well, all right.
Well, I think I guess Colorado is too far gone. I think if you get into any of the other western states and you get into a smaller town, you'll see guns all the time.
What do you do besides buy and sell guns? There's something else you do in life?
No, that's pretty much it. I like to joke that I've never had a real job.
I say that about radio. You take care of yourself. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Happy New Year. Thanks.
You
Bye-bye.
too. I got a lot of things to read and calls to take, and it's 710 KNUS. Tuesday morning, everybody, the 30th of December. Get it right. Coming up on time. Tomorrow will be our New Year's show. Phone number is 303-696-1971. 54 today. New Year's Day, man. You roll out the bike. We're going into the 60s. Let me read a bunch of stuff off the wall, then we'll go to the phones. I'll just do it right. The role of our government today is simple. Make America white again. Charlie Kirk knew that, and look what happened to him. Wake up. Gabe says, that was amazing, by the way. Why does he charge to use his FFL? I'm about to get a semi-automatic shotgun and another pistol. Tell Colorado to load up before August 1. This one is, you complain about the government but expect the police to show up and serve and protect. That's totally different, disconnected. This one is, stop referencing Candace Owens. Have we referenced Candace? Maybe we did it in the cast, on the newscast. I said that's ridiculous. Okay, I didn't do it, but it was in the cast. This one. The interesting thing is the murder rates have gone up in spite of the new gun laws. No, you're absolutely right. It's almost as though the problem isn't the gun, but the bad guy. You're right. There's no logic, but these are different text messaging. There's no logic behind gun laws. Making us less safe doesn't make criminals any less dangerous. All good ones. All right, we go to Mike. Mike in Littleton. Hey, Mike, you're on a radio show. Good morning.
Excuse me. Good morning, Peter.
Hey, man.
To answer your question, I would say that for myself, the role of government is to protect my rights from external threats, which would be another government trying to invade.
Yes.
So we need an army. We need something to protect us from external threats. We need some kind of authority or power to protect me and my rights from threats internally from other people that would impinge upon my rights. So a police force, a justice system. Otherwise, we revert to a state of nature where it's everybody against everybody else.
Well, there was a Rousseau when they came to the New World and there were Native Americans. That's when those people talked about man in a state of nature. They thought that's what was going to be, and it turned out not to hold up. But the role of government is to provide you, to provide you with security, promote the general welfare. I mean, these are things I wrote down to myself: enforcing laws, defending against threats. But now we have the government that's granting you the right to a firearm. Now taking that right, the government taking that right away. It's kind of duplicitous, isn't it?
It is. The more government you create and have, the less liberty you have.
Yep.
Because they will make law after law after law.
Sure.
We have been on this path for at least 100 years now, where it's a continuous growth of government, and we're in not too good of a state right now. We've created a ever-growing dependent population.
I brought that up. Take care of me.
Okay.
Take care of me. No. I want you to take care of me. Looking at past generations, you talk about your past generations. I look at mine that came over here from the old country. Those people. They came over here wanting economic opportunity. That's all they wanted.
To make whatever they could of their lives without, being restrained by, whatever. They were self-reliant and they're tough people.
Oh.
And compare us to them.
Well, what's interesting, the reason that I think Mike said this, my brother's youngest son is really into chasing the family tree, and I always said we didn't have a family tree, we had a twig, but we found my grandma, or he did, found where grandma was from, south of Belfast. And you imagine when they left, because that's the Troubles, and when they got out of there, and she she showed up in Pittsburgh, and I don't know. They're putting the story together a lot better now. But I mean, most of those people came. They certainly didn't come with their hands out. They came. No. They came to work, and what we see now, and again, the Democratic Party saying that you have housing is a right, and I'll take away your gun while I'm doing it. And it gets back to that, I've said it probably too many times, the idea of a fascism sweet song, and it goes like this: I'll take care of you. And how many people want to be taken care of, Mike?
Well, that's one of the things that worries me. Is it seems like an ever-growing amount of people. The appeal is there, and more and more people want more and more. They want more and more government to quote unquote take care of them, and they take care of you, but you lose your liberty. So ultimately,
I don't think Jefferson said, "I'll grant you 3 hots and a cot."
No,
but now these. And it's very extremely appealing when there was a Frenchman by the name of de Tocqueville who came and looked at America. And one of the things that de Tocqueville said that, and he used the term largesse. I remember I read de Tocqueville a couple of different times. But de Tocqueville said, when these politicians find out that they can vote the largesse of the treasury, and they will remain in office. In other words, if I keep taking care of you, you'll keep voting for me. And then there must come a time when the jump across does take place. And so,
isn't that kind of one of the things that's led to the Somali debacle in Minnesota? They know that they take care of that population. Yeah. They get the votes. They vote as a bloc.
Absolutely, and that's. As a kid, when I voted, the first time I voted what the union told me to do. I mean, it's a true story. I mean, I coming out of the Time Shack on Election Day, and we had shop stewards and we had union bosses and stuff, and the guy's name, he's a good guy, was a great guy, his name was Lou Alio. He was a plumber. I was create the noise. We're standing in the Time Shack. I'm a kid, and you do that and hand you a piece of paper, hand the next guy a piece of paper, and on it was printed, "This is who your union endorses." And from, the local Allegheny County commissioners to Lyndon Johnson, this is who your union endorses. So, the union bloc also was a powerful vote.
It was, and to kind of go down that path, there's always been inner city bosses, Pendergast or Daley or whoever, that control a group of people. The Italian leaders of that community, and they've directed people to vote as a bloc, if you will. Unions are another one.
Oh, yeah.
And so, the Somali stuff, I understand very well.
I get it. I totally get what they did.
But it's the deal with government, though. If the government has the ability to take care of people like that, to funnel money to them,
and want to look at, I mean, they did it knowingly that the Somalis were doing it.
Yeah, it's pretty
it's
pretty sad. But that's the story. That's the story. As soon as the government gets so big, and like you say, they start voting the treasury, then we're in trouble. And we are in trouble. We're down the wrong path, and we're far down the wrong path. And I don't know how to back up, because the mentality of the country is such that dependency is becoming more and more appealing to more and more people.
No, it's better yet, it's become a right.
Oh, boy. Right. Life, liberty, and property is your only rights.
You take care of yourself. 303-696-1971. All right, to the wall. Pete, remember that character Bob Larson, originally based out of Denver here. I believe he's now in Phoenix. I don't know what that means, but I read it. Peter, there is no absolute right to gun ownership in the Second Amendment. All amendments are subject to reasonable restriction. The only real question is, what is reasonable restriction? Insurance requirements for a gun show is a reasonable restriction, only beginning when legislators wanted it. I mean, that's the part. That's the part of what's going to happen. No, I disagree. Call the show. This is, come on now. I don't know if this is tongue in cheek or this guy means it. The only thing the Irish have given to America is disease, crime, and prostitution. They left Ireland because they were criminals and they're not white. Send them or read them. Trump will usher in so many Democrats. Trump will usher in so many Democrats that the Second Amendment is definitely at risk. All right, those are beauty. I was looking at maps last night, man. My nephew said, "Hey, we got where Grandma came from," and I thought she had come from someplace else, south of Belfast during the time of the Troubles. That must have been a time to get the 5 times out of there, man. Wow. And as they say, let's go to break. 303-696-1971. Here comes the idea of stepping in one more time on the Second Amendment. It isn't that they're taking just this much. Every session, there's even more. And there's an end game. And the end game is what? You can't have a gun. This is 710 KNUS. Really good music, man. Like a wagon wheel. It's a good song. Let's play that a little bit. Kick it up. Rock me like a wagon wheel. Good music. On a Tuesday, the 30th of December, the day before the day before. I'm Peter Boyle, 710 KNUS, a Tuesday, 54 the high, 61 Wednesday, 62 on Thursday, 303-696-1971. The results of this morning have really been interesting to listen to, and particularly to read, on asking people the role of government as we are a couple of days away from Jan 1. When Jan 1 hits, new laws go into effect in the state of Colorado. And one of them is on firearms. And what I think is interesting about that is, the Second Amendment's on this side of the wall, and then the Democrats are on that side of the wall. What do you think the end game is? That's maybe I said that we tied out on the last break. What's the end game? What do you think? I mean, if you're like me, you've witnessed session after session on the national level, on a local level, and they chip away at the Second Amendment. What do you think is the end game of doing that? I mean, there is an end game, you know that, and maybe we're watching the beginning of the end game. Well, what did Winston Churchill say? It's not the end of it. It's not but it is the end of the beginning. He was talking about the Battle of Britain. So, what do you think? What is the end game of all of this in the role of government? And the gun show requirement, well, there's so many, but we'll talk on the other side. We'll talk with, and he's been with us a number of times before, and his name is Ian Escalante. So the role of government is to what? Establish order, to provide security, and I don't know what people talk about in promoting the general welfare, defending against threats. Someone initially said it's defend the shores and deliver the mail. Maintain order. Governments can create I should look, and I'll look, who said, if men were angels, we would not need government. Text, the role of government is keep special interest groups out of private life. I'm not sure. I mean, we're living with a lot of special interest groups right now, and they're making determinations. The one is about this constant war. We constantly seem to be at war. From the wall, concerning things to come, do you question me about my children or give me orders about the work of my hands? Signed, God. Stepping in. There's all these different theories. There's the social contract theory that you and I have a contract with the government, and we have choices with that contract. People voluntarily surrender some individual freedoms to a governing body in exchange for security and order, and that's Hobbes and Locke and Rousseau, if you've been if you have nothing else to do and you've read them. But if the notion of a social contract, and you have it with the king, and you have a choice to abide by the king's rules or leave, and that's part of this. So people who voluntarily surrender some individual freedom to a governing body in exchange for security and order, a concept. The thinkers, Hobbes and Locke and Rousseau. All right, back to the wall. The government's role is to deliver cocaine to South Central Los Angeles. I don't know who these guys are that are sending them, but that will happen. We have the government in your life? What do you think? I loved that end game. What is the end game of Second Amendment legislation? So far, I don't see promoting gun rights. I don't see anybody saying we're going to do this. I mean, it seems to be like it's a fight. There's battlegrounds, and there's a battle line that's drawn. If you look at this is it time. This is great. Is it time to end the two-party system in the United States? That's a show. That's a whole show by itself. Is it time to end the two-party system in the United States? I kind of think, yeah. Trump's new national security strategy, internally contradictory. This one's social democracy in Denmark. Send them, I'll read them. 303-696-1971. What do you want the government to do for you and not do to the wall? It's funny to me that this state passes a law worried about gun shows, having a security plan. Those shows are probably the safest places. You know what? That's true. I've been to the Tanner half a dozen times. This is great, well thought out. It's funny to me that this state passes a law worried about gun shows and having a security plan, and those shows are probably the safest places to be in the state. That's smart. That's smart. But that gets back full circle to my question of what's the end game? What do you think the end game of the progressive Democrat at Colfax and Broadway is vis-a-vis your Second Amendment right? Do you think they're there to help you? Do you think they're there to support you? Do you think they're there saying, no, of course not? But there's more of the same. Government's role is to pick winners. Send them in, I'll read them. The government there's a lot of text messaging this morning. From yesterday it was all phone calls. This morning it's text. Governments emerge, again, there's this, when you read the history of government, there is a human need for order and security and resource management and all these different theories that are out there and how we become us. But here we are. We got about a minute. Let me read these real quick. Banks are guarded, but not schools. I think that all the time. That's good. It's somewhat. It's frustrating when you watch them and compare and contrast, as folks have this morning. All right, we got about a minute, and do we on the other side? We have Ian with us. Okay. Tomorrow will be our end of the year, and it's good. It's good for the role of, well, what New Year's will bring us, and that's a better way to say it. Hang on. I'm Peter Boyle, 710 KNUS.